fucking bad!
We aren't afraid of you!
You could have been more than a symbol. You could have been a god!
The Dark Knight is here, and he's ready to fight crime like never before. I got to go hands-on with Batman Arkham Shadow in VR, and it is a game changer. Let's dive into my first impressions of the game. 2 weeks ago, I was lucky enough to be invited to Meta's headquarters in Bellevue, Washington to get a sneak peek at the highly anticipated Batman Arkham Shadow VR game. After a quick breakfast, we were treated to an exclusive screening of the game's trailer to get us hyped for our demos. I was immediately hooked by the dark, gritty atmosphere and the promise of immersive gameplay. Once the trailer was over, it was time to step into the Batcave. The controls were surprisingly natural and responsive. Soaring through the city as Batman was so much fun. The gliding mechanics are smooth and intuitive. You really felt like you were Batman. The combat is intense and physically demanding. You're swinging punches and dodging attacks. It felt especially natural to me because in some ways it was like Beat Saber because you had to punch in specific directions. It was really fun beating up my enemies. It was also an insane workout. It was intense, which is exactly what you want it to be because you really feel like you're an action hero and you're out there fighting crime. Definitely worked up quite the sweat. The demo had us exploring the sewers in search of the Rat King and his cult followers.
Remember what our king says. You got nothing. You got nothing to fear.
I was really pleased with the visuals and found the level of detail to be very impressive. This game actually features breakthrough VR graphic fidelity with visuals and shadows only possible on the Quest 3. You really felt immersed in the world of Gotham City. I really loved the stealth elements.
Use detective vision to find a way around the gate.
Sneaking up on enemies and using the environment to my advantage was incredibly satisfying.
I'll find a position up above and get the drop on them.
One of the coolest tools in the game is the Batarang, which was super fun to use. It also added a layer of strategy and versatility to the gameplay. The demo ended after you exit the sewer, where you were greeted by Jim Gordon.
For a second there, I thought you were a rat.
If I was a rat, you'd already be dead.
This game will also see the return of several other iconic characters such as Dr. Quinzel and Crane before they became Harley Quinn and Scarecrow, as well as Harvey Dent and Ratcatcher. My immediate thoughts were overwhelmingly positive. I thoroughly enjoyed the combat as well as the overall atmosphere of the game. After the demo, we had a chance to chat with the development team. Their passion for the project was evident and they were very excited to share their vision for the game. Beyond the game itself, I also had a chance to explore some of the new features of the Quest 3, including the HDMI link, and of course I couldn't leave without first grabbing some exclusive Batman Arkham Shadow merch. Overall, my first impressions of Batman Arkham Shadow were extremely positive. It is definitely a must-play for fans of the series and anyone looking for a thrilling VR experience. I cannot wait to see what the future holds for this exciting new game.
We've had this vision for Arkham Shadow for a number of years, and we knew that we definitely needed the power of the Quest 3 to not only deliver the size of the world that we wanted to create, but also to deliver at the fidelity of the assets that you got to see today with all the atmospherics and the real-time shadows. It was just like that kind of full experience, like our complete vision for the game that we felt like that was going to be true to the franchise that millions of Arkham fans love.
Based on what you guys told us and what I saw in practice, this is very much inspired by Arkham Asylum. How's it looking also in terms of like scope compared to a game like that? I noticed there's a level system, so you're going to level up. It very much felt like Arkham Asylum in VR, but I'm wondering on scale, boss fights, stuff like that.
Where we started was where Ryan Darcy was kind of talking about previously is we would look to Arkham and try to translate the mechanics that felt good for VR. So we kind of, that's where we started with, so grapple gun, smoke bombs, Batarang. But as you might have noticed in our gameplay trailer, we're starting to kind of unravel or reveal more gadgets, including the Bat Claw, which you can use to pull vents off of walls, but also in combat and pull guys towards you and then clothesline them in a nice time dilation fashion. It's really cool. We showed off for the first time shock gloves, which is a fan favorite from Arkham Origins, and so that feels really terrific and different in VR than how it plays in Origins. And we also have our gel launcher, which was, I think, custom designed to work specifically and lean into the strengths of VR.
I know a lot of people, including myself, often have issues with motion sickness when playing VR, but I didn't experience that at all during this demo. So, like, what measures did you take to prevent that?
Well, that's a lot of first people's questions. Am I going to be sick if I play this, right? Am I going to be uncomfortable? And, you know, I think the comment you had, we also got a lot in Iron Man as well. It's like, wow, like, how do I, like, why am I not feeling ill. Like, what's going on here? What are you guys doing? You know, there's the simple things like, you know, maintaining high frame rate, you know, never rotating the player's camera outside of them rotating their own head. But there's like very basic things that like will cause players to get ill. No, camera shake, stuff like that, right? But once you get beyond those basics, like, and you know, I don't have any like science to back this up, but my feeling is the more strongly you can create a connection between what the player thinks they want to do and then the gesture that they do and then the game reacting in a way that they expect. Like if you have that connection from your mind, body to the game and everything kind of works the way you like it, your brain like is comfortable and you don't start getting overloaded and frustrated. And I think that adds to the comfort. And because I know I've played VR titles that there's not a lot of movement, but like, you know, it's just not, it's not reacting the way I expect it to, and I start getting frustrated, and I just feel like I need to get out of the headset. So that's my theory, but I don't really know.
I think for us too, with coming out of Iron Man, one of our learning lessons was just putting comfort at like first and foremost with all the decisions and designs we were making, and was something we were thinking about very, very early on in development. And with VR games, sometimes that can be something that comes a lot, you know, later after you've kind of built out the combat and the prototype or your gameplay. But I know for us, even very, very early on, it was like, hey, let's make sure things are performant. Let's make sure it's comfortable. Let's make sure it's smooth and make sure it feels good for our players, even at the prototype level. And I think that's gone a long way to really reinforce a lot of what we're doing. And it's always been something that's been just like top of mind for us throughout all of development.
We spend a lot of time in the sewers, but is there a good variety of locations?
Yeah, I think you got to see a little bit of a tease of what to expect from the gameplay trailer, a pretty wide variety of locations, including, I think, Eagle Eye Arkham fans will probably notice some locales from Arkham Origins, including Blackgate Prison, so some outdoor environments. Yeah, for us, it's been really top of mind to give the players a wide variety of environments to go through. The sewers environment that you went through early on in the game is, I can confirm exclusively today that that's the only sewers environment you're going to be going through in the game. So it's, you know, the art team did a great job with that. And it's like, hey, we go through it. You see the rat barracks. You get the sense of like these people that are living underneath the surface of Gotham. They're rising up and taking to the streets. And then that's it. And we're moving on to a different biome. And so, yeah, it's really important for us that the players feel like they're going on an adventure, on a journey, and that we're flexing the muscles of this incredible team that we have. And so, yeah, you're going to see a wide variety of environments.
And the Arkham community you reference is absolutely massive, and tons of them are really excited to see another Arkham title being able to get immersed in VR. But there is a group that are pretty disappointed they're not going to be able to play it another way. What would you say to those people?
I'm sympathetic to Arkham fans who have been waiting since 2016 for a new Arkham game, and Arkham Shadow may not be on the platform that they wanted to come out on. And hey, I want more Arkham titles as well, so I'm kind of with them. Like, I'll be in line for the next Arkham game on a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox or a PC along with them. But for us, when we got the call to work on Arkham Shadow, we knew that this was going to be a Quest 3 exclusive game, and our mission is very clear as a first-party studio within Meta, which is our jobs are to create the very best games for the platform that show off the hardware, the visuals, the audio, to create unforgettable experiences that really leverage the unique power of VR, and to leverage this incredible IP that we have. And we actually look at it as just an incredible opportunity to bring hopefully a lot more people into the world of Quest and the ecosystem. So they hopefully buy the hardware to play the game. And the good thing about the Quest ecosystem now in 2024 is that once they're done playing Arkham Shadow, they've got so much other content to celebrate and play, which is something that I think, we just don't talk enough about, like the celebrating all the dozens and dozens and dozens of terrific titles in the hardware as well. So
I think the only thing we're really waiting to see, like you've delivered the combat, we believe in the combat now, is the storyline. Yeah. You know, we didn't get any glimpse of the storyline. How would you say it compares in terms to like Iron Man? Is it a deeper, longer story, or?
Yeah, we obviously built off of our learnings from Iron Man VR and telling, I think, a real personal story focused on our hero. And we very much intentionally chose this phase in Batman's career, pretty early on in his career, to give him plenty of room to grow. And I think we're really challenging who Batman's all about in this game. And we knew we were onto something pretty special when we had these incredible actors coming back into the Arkham verse through Arkham Shadow, such as Troy Baker, Roger Craig Smith, and seeing them on the stage who are reprising, well, not necessarily reprising the roles, but they're working together again for the first time since Arkham Origins, right? When Troy was playing Joker and Roger was playing Batman, obviously, and just seeing them get really into the story and seeing people on the set who are like part of the crew like crying and being really emotionally impacted by what we're doing. It was something really special, and I think you can tell. Like I've been working on games for almost 20 years now, going back to Metal Gear Solid 4, and there are moments in that project I remember where people would just get really quiet in a good way. Like they can tell there's something special happening on the stage, and we've had a number of those moments on this game where all credit goes to our writing team and Warner Brothers and DC for their guidance and their trust in us to tell something that is pretty hard hitting. So yeah, I stand by the story that we're telling. I can't wait to see what people say and what they do and how they react to some of these moments in the game. We're just obsessed with VR. We're obsessed with Arkham, and we're obsessed with making great titles. And so, yeah, it means a lot to us that you'd make the trek out here and play our game and be patient with us, because what you played today is still work in progress, and just trust that we're going to do everything we can over the next few months to make it as good as possible.